All right, welcome back. Now we're going to go over to the Bono region and some incident that happened about 3 months ago where a fire, ran through a property school building, caused damage, and the students cannot use the property and have been under trees, running their classrooms under trees for the last 3 months. The situation persists. They're still under the trees. We want to find out really what's going on there. At what point in time are we going to get an intervention for these kids? Because mind you, no matter what it is, they're still going to be writing exams. They're still going to be competing, not just nationally, but globally with students like themselves. So really, what are we doing here? Jiva, so this is the story that we have.
Cool. It's rather a sad one. When I saw the news report, I could feel their pain, I could feel their frustration. And you could hear from some of the students as well as the parents who shared her sentiments about the fact that they are being exposed to reptile attacks, as well as the fact that because they are learning under a tree and is under direct sunlight on a white marker board, when the sun is so bright, they are unable to see.
So you even see what's on the board.
Yes, it affects their eyesight. So there's a struggle to even see what's on the board, to even understand what the teacher is actually teaching. So it's such a tough situation. And according to the reports, this happened since last year, December. And how many months down the line, no intervention whatsoever has come their way. And they have to resort to studying under trees. Also exposed to the wind, and when the clouds start forming, they have to disperse and then go home.
Yeah, and the Bono region, the rainfall patterns are much heavier than what we get down south in Accra, right? So you can imagine, and of course, the way the Bono is heavily forested also, a lot of the foliage attracts snakes. So imagine you have a combination of, you don't know whether this tree, there's a snake inside today or not. Because the snake, it doesn't warn you when it's going to climb the tree in the middle of the night or whenever it's going to climb the tree. So you can be under the tree. Yesterday, there was no snake, but today, there are maybe one or two in the tree. You don't know. And green snakes, they look like the leaves. So, look, no matter how we look at it, this is not a good situation. This report was filed by our correspondent, Michael Sapon-Infum. Let's take a look at this report. We'll come back and we'll delve into some conversations and call some people, have some questions answered.
Dormaa Akwamu Methodist Basic School, situated in the Dormaa East District of the Bono region, is still reeling from the aftermath of a destructive fire that consumed its 6-unit classroom block last December. 3 months later, the school is yet to receive any form of support. In the meantime, classes are being held under trees, a temporary measure that presents serious challenges. The relentless heat hampers both teaching and learning, making it extremely difficult for teachers to deliver lessons effectively. Pupils and teachers alike remain vulnerable to the elements. A makeshift shed now serves as a staff office where teachers mark pupils' exercises and prepare lessons. The school urgently needs help to rebuild and provide a safe, conducive environment for education to continue.
As we are standing right now, the sun is very scorchy, and it's going to be very much scorchy as time goes on. It affects our teaching and learning. Most of the times, because the trees here too are not that vast or that huge, the moment the sun tries to move to sunset, it affects teaching and learning. So mostly, we don't have any choice than to allow the children to loss around or to close school. And even sometimes, when we come to school, we see that the winds moving are very strong. And to be on the safer side that a tree will not break and destroy anything or harm any child, we have to close. So those things are affecting our teaching and learning. And our concern has been that we need support, we need help, because the academic year is running. This incident happened on the 27th of December. Till now, we haven't had any support from anywhere. We have called on a lot of philanthropists, a lot of institutions. Personally, I've written letters to other institutions for support. We have reported this to NADMO, to the police, to the education unit, to the Methodist Education Unit and other institutions. So we are hoping to get support. But for now, we need an urgent structure, at least a temporary one that we can manage with, so that the academic year will not be wasted.
Teachers shared their frustrations and concerns over the current conditions at the school.
It has never been easy for us because it's an open place, and when teaching, the children have divided attention because they see everything around, and the distractions, in fact, it's not easy for us. People passing by, tricycles, motor bicycles, even reptiles disturbing us. Though we have natural air conditioning, but it's not easy for us. Yes, we are pleading with the government, stakeholders, and non-governmental institutions to come to our aid, because we are entering into the rainy season, and anytime the rain starts, we are not going to find it easy.
Oh, it's very bad. Distractions by motor bicycles, tricycles, and the community. The sun always scorched during that time, and the teachers will experience a lot of heat. We will be sweating, as I'm sweating right now. And then the students, the same thing. So whilst teaching, we find it difficult.
Two people spoke about the hardships they face studying under trees.
School is here, the private Nadi and I say, be crying, dear, what's in Betty? We say, every cry is dear. We are not team to board on us, a fufu, 18 toswa, now the table can so my intimate, so in train, Siadi. Say, how dear Namudia is swimming Muna, this ain't a coffee, not time so at a class in it, a Rihanna boy. Fifle beti esa say yet class kula ni so muna ya dan nation chance ni bitim flu dan ne so ba huboye na tanzo so yet class kwa ya ku wo ba mi ensa kula ne wo yet class wa ye ntimi nsuya de yie.
A concerned parent expressed her worries about the impact of these conditions on her child's education.
Pacho hawa me banana mude bebiri. And I say, I'm not on Chamsi school, Mohani school, nine share. Akrano, a dear chumre school, Corama, ya buy in your babinton. Your school, Danashi, your soria yet in Riase, near Sua, a dear. My, Debbie, a kuwo, I was school, Danimha, school, a Biana say, into me, a daiming co school. Nema panachona, Bantimisra, Banisem, Rome so, Nika Munsi school, dining 10 man, Paranabenia, Quanade, Emra.
Efforts to get comments from officials at the Dormaa East District Assembly and the Ghana Education Service were unsuccessful. The management at the Dormaa Methodist Basic School are appealing to authorities to come to the aid of the school by providing a new classroom block for the school to help improve teaching and learning. From Dormaa in the Bono region, Michael Saponifum, ChannelOne News.
Wow. Right, that was a report filed by our colleague here at ChannelOne TV and City FM, Michael Sapon Infum, who is also our Bono regional correspondent. Kweku, it's rather a sad one, but fortunately we have the headmaster of the school on the line who has joined us and will be helping us get more insight on this situation. He's in the person of Mr. Datsus Kwajo Menu. Mr. Menu, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and yourself?
Right, we are well too. Now, share with us, our cameras have been there to file the report, but beyond the report, run us through how long has this situation been, or when did the fire break out, what caused the fire, and what has been the update so far?
Thank you. It happened on the 27th of December. And it's almost 3 months now. Actually, the cause of fire has not been determined.
Right.
The fire officers came on the very day, but we've not had a report from them as to the cause of the fire.
Okay, since December 27th that the fire broke and the fire officers came there to file their reports and all of that, what has NADMO's response been like? Has there been any help that has come through or anything? Has there been any assessment sort of?
Not at all. We've not heard from NADMO as I speak now. We wrote a report through the district directorate, and the fire service informed us that they would send a report to NADMO. But as I'm speaking, we've not had any kind of support from NADMO. We are yet to hear from them.
Right. As clearly seen in the video, we could tell that this is affecting teaching and learning. How bad is the situation?
It's very bad.
Right.
If you ask your reporter, he will clearly tell you that when he came, he realized that the scene was very bad because even the trees we are managing with, they are not that huge trees that you stay under it and feel a little bit comfortable. There's a sun rays directly that affect the students because, let's say, their books are white. When the sun rays fall from the books, it affects their sight. And even where we have decided to even keep the class 6 people, that place is not that conducive. So it's not helping. As I'm speaking, yesterday there was a very heavy downfall and the whole place is muddy. You don't get a place even to step to try to teach. And it's affecting our teaching and learning a lot.
Okay, but again, just to get a bit more of insight, Mr. Menu, is it that the fire reached the whole school or just a section of the classroom block?
But the entire school went off.
Wow.
A 6-unit classroom block, a head teacher's office, staff room, and library. Everything, we couldn't pick even a pin from the school. We had 2 poly tanks in the school, soccer balls, JCs, textbooks, exercise books, school drums. Let's say everything. Admission register, bell attendance register, log books, fans and fridge. Everything is off. Everything.
Wow.
So as we resume school on the 10th, as at now, we don't have anything. The only thing we are trying to do is to organize and give report upon report, but we have not received any help.
Wow.
So the education directorate, when was the last time you spoke to them?
2 days ago, the head of supervision and my CISO was here, the CISO for the circuit. We were here to assess or to get a view of what is going on. But as we speak, they couldn't give any support to us. So.
Wait. So since 3 months ago, when the incident happened, they only came 2 days ago to come and assess the situation?
Not that. When it happened, the director himself came here. He has been here about 3 occasions.
Okay.
And as I said, the CISOs and the others who came here to assess the situation previously. And yesterday, 2 days ago, they were here to find out if only something has gone on. But I gave them a report that we've not received any support from anywhere.
I see.
And they, as a directorate, have not received support from somewhere to be given to us.
So would typically the help come from national or will it come from regional? Do you have any idea?
I don't have any idea, my brother, because the issue is that we as teachers, we are supposed to report to the directorate.
Yes.
Then maybe the directors for it is whatever authority.
They will take it up, okay.
They will take it up.
Okay.
But we have also, since it's a Methodist school, the Methodist unit, regional education unit is aware. The bishop is aware.
Okay.
And the other stakeholders are aware.
I see. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
So we are pleading that
Yes, go ahead.
as we give this report, we will get maybe support from corporate institutions and others that can help us.
Okay. When you say support, can you give us some more detail in terms of the support, the kind of support? Is it cash? Is it kind? What exactly? So that people are listening, they can take a decision for themselves.
Yes, it could be in cash, it could be in kind. Because the reason I'm saying that is, you see, some logistics that are supposed to be used to run the schools are not there.
Okay.
When we resume, all the attendance registers were bent. So we even have to seek for support from somewhere to get some attendance register. We don't have any logistic at the school. As I was mentioning, I did mention that the head teacher's office was bent, so everything of the school has also been bent. We have some school JCs, polytanks, other textbooks that we're using for teaching and learning. All has been bent. So the support we are calling for is all in this kind of forms. And also the immediate one is, at least we need a temporary structure that could help us now. Because the rains have started. It means that these kids will be forced to go home anytime there is a little rain. Because we will not get any place to stay and continue our teaching and learning. So if we don't get, even if we don't get the permanent building, at least a temporary structure that will help us for the academic year before we see the next.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for speaking to us. We really appreciate you, and we wish you all the very best. You know, a lot of people are watching, and hopefully we'll get some people who will intervene and send some help. The duty bearers are there. They know exactly what to do. We try to reach out to the director for the Ghana Education Service there. And unfortunately, when he heard that we were a media house, he dropped the call. So we can't, you know, unfortunately get any answers from them as far as this is concerned. So we've been speaking with Mr. Menu, Datus Kwejo Menu. He's the headmaster of the school, Dormaa Akwamu Methodist School. And I'm sure the Methodist Church is, like he said, is also aware. So hopefully they can also maybe rally together some resources and help one of their schools that is in the Dormaa area, the Bunu area.
Cool. I don't know how else to feel about this. It's rather a sad situation. And it's even more heartbreaking that nobody wants to be accountable. Nobody wants to answer questions as to why.
I don't know how a duty bearer gets away with that kind of behavior.
Nobody wants to answer questions as to why, since December 27th, according to the headmaster, and of course the report, nothing has been done about it. No help whatsoever, no support. And he rightly said that even the assessment of the students have been burnt. So moving forward, how do the teachers even get records or previous records of their assessment?
There are no records. There will be no records.
Nothing at all. And it's sad.
They have to build new records.
These are just children. How do we do this to our kids? And as you said earlier that these are people who will be writing the same exams on the same level.
They're competing internationally.
On the same level. And when the results come and they are not doing well, then you're asking yourself, what's going on? But look at the situation they find themselves in at this point in time. They've been going to school since January. And we're in what? March. March is about ending. The term is going to end pretty soon, and they've had a whole term under a tree because their school building has been razed down by fire, and nobody wants to answer questions. Nobody wants to be responsible and say, I have done this, I have done A, B, C, and D, and we're expecting some response or anything. It's rather a sad one there.
So I want to personally make a call to the Minister of Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, to please intervene in this matter. We've seen in a number of situations around the country since John Dramani Mahama took office that when there's a highlight, light is shone on a peculiar problem in a particular space that looks like an emergency, quickly people are deployed to the ground, quickly funds are made available, quickly some kind of respite is brought. We saw it in the case of the bridge. There was a broken down situation where the kids, a boy and his younger brother were crossing. They've gone to build a bridge there, to alleviate the situation. I believe this is one of those kinds of situations where they need, even the headmaster will say that a temporary structure for now, would even be adequate, And so I think that calling on the Honorable Education Minister to please do something about this. And those who are watching, if you know him, I don't know if he'll be watching at this time, but let him know that this is a call of a serious problem that is happening in Dormaa, Akwamu, and it needs his attention ASAP. The directors on the ground, the director on the ground doesn't want to talk to us to give us any answers to this. So to the director of the GS, Mr. Philip Adom Danso, I'm not sure why you are dodging us, but you're a duty bearer. Don't dodge. Deal with the problem. The problem will not go away because you close your eyes. Deal with the problem that is there. It's a school under your jurisdiction. I shouldn't have to sit here and call on the Honorable Minister of Education. But it's come to this, all right? And we believe that this will be dealt with ASAP. By this same time next week, we should have a resolution to this problem. Yeah, this is not something that's going to take $100,000, even $10,000. No, this is a situation, temporary structure, put it in place, let the kids have some respite, and then some safety from the elements, and for now, and then we can look at building a proper structure properly soon. Anyway.
Right, Kweku, as you've made that call, I would also want to call on the Methodist Church of Ghana because we've seen situations where churches have built schools from scratch. And this is one of this, a Methodist school for that matter. So, I mean, if it's just one Sunday that all Methodist churches across the country will just do an offertory to support the situation, because, look, we can't leave the children going through this situation, learning under trees, exposing them to all sorts of dangers and harms of the environment. So please come to the aid of these young ones, and then let's take them off under the trees and then take them into a good classroom. I hope that whatever structure or whatever new building they are going to get is even bigger and better than what they've lost, just so they can be comfortable again and then get back to their studies.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back, and there's more on Breakfast Daily.